We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit.
Total. And yes, I already hate how clean that sounds.
Chapter 1. The Fantasy of Becoming Disciplined.
I used to think discipline was a personality trait, like eye color. You either had it or you didn't. I looked at disciplined people the way you look at someone who wakes up at 5 a.m. smiling. Suspicious. Suspicious. Possibly in a cult. Meanwhile, I was the guy who made ambitious plans at night and betrayed them before breakfast. I'd write a to-do list like I was pitching a TED Talk to myself, and then I'd wake up and immediately renegotiate reality. Today doesn't feel like a disciplined day, as if discipline ever sends a calendar invite. Consistency, to me, sounded like a prison sentence. Same actions, same time, every day. Every day, no drama, no reinvention, no emotional permission slips. And that's the part nobody sells. Honestly, consistency is boring. Not a little boring, aggressively boring.
Chapter 2. Motivation is a liar, with good timing.
Let's talk about motivation. That unreliable friend who shows up only when things are easy. Motivation loves beginnings. New notebooks. Fresh playlists. First days. But motivation disappears the moment the work becomes repetitive, lonely, or humiliating. Nobody tells you that discipline is what shows up after motivation ghosts you. Discipline is the awkward silence after the hype dies. First days, I've waited for motivation like it owed me rent, and every time, it disappointed me on schedule. Consistency doesn't care how inspired you feel. It doesn't care if your mood is fragile or your week was unfair. It just asks one question. Are you doing it today, or are you lying again?
Chapter 3. The Ugly Math of Small Choices.
Here's the part I avoided for years. De math. Not big decisions. Small ones. The extra 5 minutes scrolling. The I'll start tomorrow. The exception that quietly becomes the rule. I wanted transformation without repetition. Growth without embarrassment. Progress without evidence. But consistency exposes you. Because when you do something every day, there's nowhere to hide. You can't blame the algorithm. You can't blame the system. Eventually, the pattern points back to you. That's uncomfortable. Which is why most people stay inconsistent on purpose. Inconsistency gives you plausible deniability. Consistency gives you results or responsibility.
Chapter 4. Discipline isn't strength, it's friction.
Here's what changed things for me. I stopped seeing discipline as strength. Discipline is friction. It's not about becoming a stronger person. It's about making the wrong choices slightly harder. If my phone is in another room, I'm not more disciplined. I'm just less tempted. If I schedule something publicly, I'm not more committed. I'm just more afraid of embarrassment. Most of my discipline is just engineering around my weaknesses. And honestly, that felt like cheating until it worked. Turns out discipline isn't heroic. It's cowardly in a smart way.
Chapter 5. Consistency will not make you feel good.
Let's be clear about something uncomfortable. Consistency does not feel rewarding in the moment. It feels repetitive. It feels pointless. It feels like you're stuck in a loop. You don't feel progress day to day. You feel it retroactively. Consistency is thankless while you're doing it, and obvious only after you've done it long enough to forget how chaotic you used to be. That's the trap. People quit right before the payoff, not because it's hard, but because it's quiet. Not blousy. No. Fireworks. Just another ordinary day where you showed up again.
Chapter 6. The Identity Lie.
Everyone says, I'm trying to become more disciplined. That sentence hides a lie. You don't become disciplined. You behave disciplined. Identity follows action, not the other way around. I waited to feel like the kind of person who does the work, but that feeling never arrived. What arrived was repetition. Awkward, imperfect, low quality repetition. And slowly, annoyingly, my self-image had to update to match my behavior. Not because I felt confident, but because the evidence stacked up.
Chapter 7. Why this is so uncomfortable to admit.
Here's the part that stings. Most of the time, my problem wasn't lack of knowledge. It was lack of willingness to be bored on purpose. Consistency asks you to trade intensity for endurance, to choose reliability over excitement, to stop waiting for the right mood, and that feels like a loss of freedom. Until you realize inconsistency is what kept you stuck. Discipline didn't cage me. It exposed how chaotic I already was.
Chapter 8. No clean ending, just an ongoing argument.
I still fail. I still skip. Days, I still negotiate with myself like a bad lawyer. But now I know the cost of inconsistency, and I know the price of discipline. Neither is free. So I'm not selling you discipline as a virtue. I'm questioning it as a necessity, not to become exceptional, but to stop lying to yourself about what you want. And here's the real question I want you to answer in the comments. Where in your life are you avoiding consistency, not because you can't do it, but because you're afraid of what it would prove?